morning, everybody. Thank you for attending our seminar on biostimulants today. Just a heads up for everybody that we're going to be recording the session so that we can broadcast it to our network of farmers across Canada. We're very happy for everybody attending, and we would just ask that everybody put their mic on mute, and at the end we'll have a chance for questions.
Okay, so hello, I will start the first part, and Logan and I will present parts of the forthcoming presentation. So just let's start. Theoretically, no. Yeah. Okay, so we want to talk about biostimulants in agriculture. The idea of the presentation is to give you a short and brief overview about biostimulants. So at first we will give you a brief introduction about our company. After that we will talk about the different biostimulant categories, and at the end Logan will present our multi-component biostimulant AMALGEROL Essence and show you some trials which were done in Canada. So Hechenbichler, our company, is a family-owned business with its headquarters in Innsbruck, a city in the heart of the Alps, which you can see in this really nice picture. So the company was the previous company was founded in 1948 by the name Paul. It was founded exactly here, and it was the same time when the first formulation of AMALGEROL was done. In 1977, the company was acquired by the Hechenbichler family, namely Hans Hechenbichler and his sons Georg and Reinhard. The first product categories were seed and feed distribution as well as fertilizers. In 1981, AMALGEROL was introduced to the market for the first time, and since 2012 a new formulation is available, now under the name AMALGEROL Essence. By the year 2020, several more product categories were established, and in this year the family Huete took over the business from the Hechenbichler brothers, who got retired. So currently we have the product categories biostimulants with worldwide distribution products, and products in the categories special fertilizers, animal health, and stable hygiene, which are currently distributed only to a selection of countries. By now we supply over 30 countries with our innovative and highly effective products for sustainable agriculture, including Canada since 2021. So now let's talk the proper business biostimulants and what they are and why it makes sense to use them. So agriculture, as we know, is facing many challenges. For one, there is extensive agriculture, which was rendered possible especially since the 1960s by the Green Revolution. Although extensive agriculture allowed us to feed a growing world population, it causes reduced soil health, which includes a decline in soil fertility and the loss of soil life. And often enough, extensive agriculture even causes irrecoverable soil degradation. Additionally, we see increasing costs of fertilizers and new legislative restrictions. So, therefore, it was required to change from extensive agriculture to a more sustainable one and soil-friendly agriculture, while still providing enough food for a still growing population. And also climate change is becoming a real challenge for agriculture and poses a severe threat to global food security. Climate change is causing more frequent stress factors to crops, such as drought, heat, heavy rain, as well as the emergence and spread of plant diseases. So in short, we're in need of a new approach, and this is where biostimulants come into play. So we can sum up that the aim for modern agriculture is to work environmentally friendly and sustainable while producing high quality products in large amounts. And why I'm telling you all this is because biostimulants are important to face these challenges, as they are a great tool to support a sustainable and environmentally friendly agriculture. So biostimulants are substances beneficial to plants without being pesticides, soil improvers, or nutrients. Nonetheless, they can improve plant vigor, abiotic and biotic stress resistance, the nutritional value of food and forage, and the soil structure. Furthermore, they promote energy and nutrient uptake, increase fertilizer efficiency, and reduce excessive fertilizer use. Furthermore, they promote a better plant and root development, and therefore biostimulants have direct or indirect yet positive effects on plant growth promotion and plant protection. Furthermore, they facilitate reduced fertilizer use. So compared to fertilizers, biostimulants are characterized by the lower dose response and they are not necessary for growth. But the use of biostimulants usually results in higher crop quality and yield for at least 5 to 10%. So in Europe, they put it in legislation and they defined biostimulants as follows. So a plant biostimulant shall stimulate plant nutrition processes independently of the product's nutrient content, with the sole aim of improving one or more of the following characteristics of the plant or the plant rhizosphere. So nutrient use efficiency, tolerance to abiotic stress, quality traits, or availability of confined nutrients in the soil or rhizosphere. Furthermore, biostimulants are subdivided into microbial and non-microbial plant stimulants. So microbial plant stimulants include arbuscular mycorrhizal fungi, in short AMF, a non-mycorrhizal fungi, or plant growth promoting rhizobacteria, such as certain nitrogen fixating bacteria. Non-microbial biostimulants describes bioactive natural substances like macroalgae seaweed extracts, humic and fulvic acids, animal and vegetal protein hydrolysates, and chitosan or other biopolymers. So at first, let's have a closer look on these non-microbial plant biostimulants. So at first, I will talk about seaweeds. So seaweeds are classified into three main groups based on their pigmentation, actually. So therefore, we have the brown algae comprising the class of Phaeophyta, with about 6,400 species. Then there are the Rhodophyta, or red algae, with approximately 7,000 species. And then there are the Chlorophyta, which are the green algae, with at least 4,300 species. So for us, more interesting are the brown algae, as they are the ones that are mainly used in agriculture. An example would be the brown algae Ascophyllum nodosum, which you can see in the picture, which grows in temperate zones of the North Atlantic coastlines, which you can see in the map below. So algae are a complex mixture of substances and active ingredients, which means their beneficial effects as biostimulants depend on the raw material, the concentration and the extraction processes, and usage time and method. So their beneficial effects include an improved crop performance, elevated biotic and abiotic stress resistance, improved nutrient uptake, improved shoot and root growth, and further on, algae promote growth of beneficial soil microorganisms. And they also improve the moisture holding capacities of soils. And all these effects are mainly caused by plant hormones, aginic acids, polysaccharides, and glycine betaine. Okay, and the next part will be botanicals, and I give over to Logan.
Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Logan Scory. I'm leading the technical development for AMALGEROL Essence in Canada. I'm going to speak briefly about botanicals as another mode of action for biostimulants. So one of the interesting components of botanicals, so one thing, plants are unable to run away from their problems because they are sessile organisms. So because of this, plants have become very good biochemical factories, and they are actually able to make a number of different compounds within their tissue. And so in the biostimulant industry, we can use byproducts of food production. So this is plant tissue, and they contain many different botanical and plant extracts that can be used to promote crop production. So we have juice, molasses, and vinasse. These effects are less studied than the typical Ascophyllum nodosum extracts. However, there's a lot of promising effects from these compounds, and it's important to note that the origin of the botanical is very important in terms of its efficacy. And so these can be used for a number of different reasons, including the prevention of disease and pathogen infestations. They can be used to repel pests. They are able to help harden and strengthen the plant in their environment. And lastly, we can help improve the stress resistance. So when we take a closer look at the botanicals and the impact that they play on crop production, we have botanicals that help protect against stress and also help promote growth. So this would be chamomile, for example, has extracts where it can help the plant strengthen in the environment, and this is really because of the essential oils that it can produce. The second would be botanicals that help defend against pests. One of the best examples that we could use in Canada is glucosinolates. These are and other sharp tasting compounds that are contained within canola. So this helps to deter pests from attacking and eating the plant. The next category of biostimulants that we're going to be discussing today is hydrosylated proteins. So proteins play a really critical role in the development of any organism. They are fundamentally a building block of life. So these hydrosylated proteins, basically what they are is they're proteins that are broken down into their simplest unit, which is called an amino acid. So these amino acids they're very critical, and they're integrated into a number of proteins which have, an impact on all aspects of life. So these small amino acids can be taken up into the plant, and they have a number of different functions, which we will take a closer look at in the next table. So these amino acids, they're involved in protein synthesis, stress resistance, photosynthesis, as well as germination. One of the really interesting amino acids is proline. This is a signaling molecule, and it also plays an important role in reducing oxidative stress within plants. So where do we get these hydrosylated proteins from? So there are really two main sources. The first is from animal derivatives. So we have things like fish byproducts, blood meal, casein. And the second source of these products is from plants. So we have vegetable protein, seed protein. And it's really important to note that there are differences in amino acid composition between animal and plant. So depending on the source, this could potentially have a different impact on crop production. And these, so when you have the raw materials, you can obtain hydrosylated proteins in one of two ways. The first is you can do a chemical digestion of proteins. So you can use different acids or bases to break it down into smaller amino acid chains or single amino acids. And the second is to enzymatically break down these raw materials using either enzymes themselves or various microorganisms. So in terms of the effect on the plant, so the amino acids, again, these are the basic modules of protein. They are needed for plant growth and development. The other interesting thing is these small chains of amino acids or peptides. They can act like plant hormones and actually tell different parts of the plant to respond to stress, respond to growth. So they're very important molecules within the plant. So in terms of the effect that they have on crop production, the first is to help improve with abiotic and biotic stress tolerance. So they are able to help the plant increase the shoot and root biomass through promoting growth. They're able to help promote the uptake of different nutrients. They can help the uptake of nitrogen and help assimilate nitrogen by promoting and building different enzymes in the plant. And lastly, they can help support microbial soil activity. Again, amino acids are required by all living organisms, so they are also beneficial to bacteria and fungi. It's also important to note that the uptake of amino acids and nutrients is in competition with microorganisms. So the next classification of stimulants that we're going to look at is these humic substances. So humic substances are basically natural constituents of lignite, peat, and soil organic matter. So when organisms and plant tissue die and decompose in the soil, this is where we have the development of humic substances. So humic substances really differ in terms of their solubility. So again, this dead organic matter called humus, if it is precipitated using alkaline solutions, the insoluble residue is called humin, and the alkaline soluble is the humus fragment. From there, the classification, if it is precipitated with an acid, this is insoluble humic acid. And when you have the soluble fraction, this is called a fulvic acid. So really, the chemical properties are what differentiate humic acid versus fulvic acid. So on the one spectrum, fulvic acids are usually lighter in color, yellow to light brown. Humic acids tend to be on the darker side or gray. Now, it's really important to note that fulvic acid and humic acid have a lot of different properties. Generally, humic acids are larger, they have a higher carbon content, and fulvic acids tend to be a bit smaller. So this really impacts how you utilize these products in the field. There are also different physical properties where you have a decrease in oxygen content with the humic acids. So fulvic acids actually have a lot more oxygen, therefore they promote a lot of activity in the soil, specifically with microorganisms. And lastly, fulvic acids tend to be highly soluble, so they tend to be great products that can be used for foliar application. And in terms of the impact that humic substances have on plants, so generally the impact of humic substances are generally indirect, and this is done so by helping the plant environment. So humic substances can help balance the pH in acidic or alkaline soils. They can increase the cation exchange capacity, so this helps with nutrient availability. We're able to help improve the increased water retention. So this is critical for plants that are experiencing stress. Improving the soil structure and supporting soil life. It's also important to note that humic substances, one of the actual main uses of humic substances is to help improve the nutrient uptake and the exchange of nutrients between the soil and the plant. It's also been researched that humic substances can help promote root growth, and in doing so, this is going to have an impact on crop quality, yield, and it's also going to help improve tolerance against abiotic stress by being able to unlock more resources from the soil in times of stress. And now we will have Ellie speak about chitosan.
Yes, so chitosans, another category of biostimulants. And again, it's failing me. Just a second. Okay. So chitosans are polysaccharides, so basically sugars, derived from the naturally occurring biopolymer chitin, which is found, for example, in crustacean shells, fungi, or insects. So chitosan is produced by deacylating chitin through a chemical process that removes the acetyl groups from the chitin molecule. So there are biological and chemical methods for the extraction of chitin, chitosan, and chitosan oligomers. The chemical extraction method of chitosan from shell waste is briefly described in the graphic on the left side. And at first the shells are washed, grinded, demineralized, and deproteinated. So after these processes you have chitin, which further broken down to chitosan and chitosan polymers through alkalic and acidic treatments. Not so different to the one Logan described in the humic part. So the degree of acetylation and polymerization as well as the pattern of acetylation are chemical parameters that determine the characteristics of chitosan. So for example, means a low degree of acetylation that chitosan is more soluble. And furthermore, we know that chitosan with a low pattern of acetylation and a low degree of acetylation show antimicrobial effects, while chitosans consisting of larger polymers with an acetylation degree of 30 to 40% demonstrate biostimulating effects. So chitosan has in particular been shown to promote plant growth and to induce plant immunity and to improve the abiotic stress tolerance. Probably also due to a certain primer effect these polymers can have on the plant. So they prep basically the plants against pests. But it's important to notice that the effects can differ between crop cultivars. So the next part is a little bit bigger, so I'm going to talk about microbial biostimulants. So you can see in the figure here that plants are basically, as all living organisms, are surrounded by microbes. So you find them in the soil, in the air, on the plant surface, and close to the roots. And they're actually essential for soil, for plant health. So most plants benefit from a mutualistic relationship with bacteria and mycorrhizal and non-mycorrhizal fungi. So in a very simplified way, you can say that there is a win-win situation of these mutualistic relationships, as the microbes provide the plant with water and otherwise hard-to-reach nutrients, and in turn the plant provides sugar in the form of glucose to these microbes. Due to their genetic and functional diversity, the effects of microbial biostimulants can be versatile, but general effects are the improved nutrient uptake and improved conditions for root growth. Furthermore, stimulate microbial biostimulants the plant's metabolism and increase the tolerance to abiotic stress. So basically these biostimulants have multi-level properties. So plant growth promoting bacteria is the first I'm gonna have a closer look on. So they can live either freely in the surrounding area of roots or inhabit as rhizosphere bacteria the space close to the roots. But there are also rhizobacteria that can colonize root cells and form the so-called nodules. Famous example would be here, for example, a soybean or alfalfa, for example. The advantages for the plants are manifold and include the promotion of plant growth by either increasing the resistance to environmental stresses and by the synthesis of phytohormones, phosphorus solubilization, and nitrogen fixation. Plant growth promoting bacteria can also directly suppress plant diseases by producing antibiotics, volatile compounds, hydrogen cyanide, lytic enzymes, and by the degradation of pathogen toxins. Also, an indirect disease suppression can be caused by those bacteria through the production of siderophores the competition with harmful microbes for space and nutrients, and by the induction of a systemic resistance reaction. So now, really briefly, I'm going to talk about mycorrhiza and other mutual symbiotic fungi. So mycorrhiza are a symbiotic association between a fungus and a plant root. So approximately 90% of all vascular lawn plants live in some association with mycorrhizal fungi, which emphasizes actually the importance of this relationship. So there are, which you can see in the picture, endomycorrhiza that grow within the root cell, and ectomycorrhiza that interact outside of the plant root, meaning it can only enter the extracellular space of a root. Of course, there are also non-mycorrhizal fungi that are beneficial for the plant. A well-known example is here the mutualistic endophyte Trichoderma. So, but first we're going to look on the mycorrhiza. So mycorrhiza are likely like a secondary root system for the plant. So in this function they mobilize nutrients, which makes them more available for plants, and increase the absorptive area and storage capacity for water and nutrients. Furthermore, mycorrhiza improve the abiotic and biotic stress resistance and connect individual plants together by a mycorrhizal network. But as I said, there are also some non-mycorrhizal fungi that can serve as biostimulants. But yeah, there's not much more to say to that. Just that, for example, Trichoderma are used, for example, to improve the abiotic and biotic stress tolerance or as biocontrol agent. Also, the promotion of plant growth and the improvement of nutrient and water uptake can be caused by such non-mycorrhizal fungi. Okay. So at this point, I'm gonna summarize a little bit. So biostimulants can have various effects. So it was shown that the use of a single biostimulant can be specifically beneficial in certain stress situations or for favored advantages. So, which you can see here in this table, which I leave you 10 seconds to have a look. Okay. So the question now is, what if we would combine several biostimulants into one multi-component biostimulant product? So in a publication from Giordano and colleagues in 2020, it was said that combining two or more biostimulants can lead to additive, synergistic, or antagonistic interactions, where the combined effect can be different from that obtained by each biostimulant individually. In the synergistic interaction, the overall effect of the mixture is greater than the sum of the effects of each biostimulant applied individually. This is the case, for example, for our biostimulant products, AMALGEROL and AMALGEROL Essence. Okay, and with this, I give over again to Logan, who will explain you the next part.
Yeah, so let's we'll take a brief look at some multi-component biostimulants and look at the composition of the biostimulant, but also some exciting trial data that we've had last year during our development program. So AMALGEROL Essence is a new biostimulant that's currently registered for use in Canada. So AMALGEROL Essence, as Ellie said, is a multi-component biostimulant. So we'll take a look at the different components that make up this product. So the first product is organic carbon. So carbon plays an important role in activating the soil life. So basically this is food for microorganisms. And we know that the interaction between microorganisms in the soil and the plant plays a critical role in helping plant establishment, but also helping promote yield. The second component would be the herbal extracts. So as we talked before, botanical additives can help the plant with fending off pathogens and stress. So basically, these herbal extracts can act as a bit of an immune booster for plants. The third is the amino acids. So amino acids, again, they're the core component of proteins, and these proteins play a really critical role in all life processes. So these amino acids can actually be utilized by the plant to activate cell repair and help reduce the impact of stress. The fourth component is the antioxidants. So in the event of stress, the stress can actually increase the production of reactive oxygen species. So these antioxidants can help sequester and neutralize these reactive oxygen species, which disrupt, a number of different structures within the cell, including the membrane. The fifth component is alginate. So this is derived from the seaweed extract. So alginate is a complex polysaccharide, and this is going to help improve water retention in the soil. The seaweed extract also contains a trace of plant hormones. So plant hormones can elicit stimulatory effects in plant growth at very low concentrations. So again, these plant hormones can help establish really strong root systems, but also help stimulate vegetative growth. And lastly, we have nitrogen and potassium. So the product is registered with CFIA as a foliar fertilizer, and this is because it has a large enough composition of organic potassium and nitrogen. And again, these can be utilized as nutrients during times of stress. It's important to note the majority of the acres that we'll spray is conventional, but we're also pursuing organic registration to offer this product to organic farmers as well. So these multifunctional biostimulants, they play a really important role in really targeting two. The first is the foliar effect on the plant, so helping to protect against stress, but also helping to neutralize reactive oxygen species, which can disrupt cellular function. And again, these products are applied kind of in advance and after stress to help repair the plant and help continue the plant forward in development. So this product can be sprayed as a foliar application. And also with these multifunctional biostimulants, there's also an impact on the soil. So we can activate the microorganisms within the soil. Again, these play an important part in the symbiotic relationship with plants. We can help improve the soil structure by promoting extensive root growth and again, increasing the decomposition of trash in the field. So we do have trials ongoing in Canada where we are placing the biostimulant in furrow right next to the seed. So we're excited to see the outcomes of some of these development trials. And it's important to note that the effect can differ between crops. So some of the advantages of using the multifunctional biostimulant, the first is, again, you have several active ingredients. You can be targeting, foliar and soil effects. Traditionally, in Europe, there's been a wide range of uses. In Canada, one of the most exciting uses is definitely to help protect against abiotic stress. And with the current situation in Canada, we're definitely seeing a lot of instances of drought, and certainly products like this can help alleviate some of those symptoms. Really, the long-term use of these products has a more targeted effect on soil, so helping increasing organic matter by facilitating decomposition of trash on the surface, but also helping promote the health of microorganisms within the soil. And I think what's really great and gives farmers the flexibility is these products are compatible with existing plant protection products. So we generally recommend the application of these products with herbicide or fungicide or other foliar nutritional products. So next we're going to talk, just highlight a few of the trials that we ran last year in canola. So when we look at the application of Amalgerol essence in canola, we generally recommend applying earlier, so in this 2 to 6 leaf stage, as a tank mix partner with the in-season herbicide. So this is going to help in a number of avenues. The first is kind of help these plants develop a strong root system. And when we're applying in-season herbicide to, plants do have to overcome some of the stress that they face during herbicide application. So having a tank mix partner like Amalgerol essence is going to help the plant recover and rebound faster, which is going to help retain high yield potential. The second chance for application would be further in development, closer to fungicide timing. And this is, again, in the light of heavy disease pressure. Sometimes we have heat stress, so the application of Amalgerol essence will help hopefully alleviate some of these symptoms faced later in the season. Next, we're going to highlight a couple of the trials. The first trial is from Rockeford, which is in South Central Alberta. So we had applied Amalgerol essence to Liberty Link hybrid canola. So we did 2 treatment strips, 2 control strips with a strip size of approximately 6 acres. The overall field average was about 38 bushel per acre. So we decided to go in and spray Amalgerol essence as a tank mix partner with Liberty Link at a rate of 1.2 liters per acre at the 6 leaf stage. And what we found was an increase in yield from 42 bushels in the control strip to 45 bushels in the Amalgerol strip, which represents about a 7.1 increase in yield. And in terms of the rate return on investment, we were, with current commodity pricing and the pricing of product, about $34 per acre benefit. The second trial we ran at Kinsella, Alberta on my family farm. We applied Amalgerol essence in a side-by-side strip trial. So we had a 10-acre strip with an application of Amalgerol essence, and then we had a 10-acre strip with no product applied. In this trial, we actually applied Amalgerol essence as a solo application, and we did 2 treatments in season at the 6 leaf stage and at the 30% flower bloom stage, which would be timed with fungicide application. The dosage that we used is 1.2 liters per acre, and we increased the water volume to 15 gallons per acre. And what we found was an increase in yield from 45 bushel to 47.5 bushel, which represents roughly 5.4%, and with a return on investment of about $6 per acre. So with that, we'd like to thank everybody that joined today and everybody that's tuning in online. We're excited to launch this product, and we believe that the product has a lot of value for Canadian farmers, and we appreciate your attention. And if there's any questions, we'd be happy to take some. Hi, Munder.
Thanks, Logan and Elizabeth. Very interesting. Just a small question. Is the product available in Canada for purchasing?
Yes, we currently have product available for purchase in Canada right now. We are doing a promotion for the launch here in Canada. So if you purchase 2 jugs, the 3rd jug will be provided to the farmer at no cost. If there's no further questions, again, we'd like to thank everybody for their time today. And we hope that, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to our team. You can reach out to myself. My email is logan.scory@amalgerol.com.
Yeah, I'd like also to thank you all for joining today. And I agree with Logan. If you have any more questions or if something comes up later on, you just contact us and we're happy to help. Thank you.